Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says that discussions are already underway about the next steps on coronavirus legislation, presumably bailout money for the travel industry. But he has not said when the Senate is going to vote on the House bill that was passed over the weekend. McConnell already under scrutiny for his decision to send senators home for the weekend, while Americans are wondering what kind of government help they're going to receive during this pandemic. Joining me now is Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, the top Democrat on the Intelligence Committee. Thank you very much, Senator. Tell me, have you heard anything more about the schedule? I know the FISA legislation, the surveillance legislation, was up for a cloture vote and final passage supposedly today. And does that have to precede any Senate action on this Coronavirus Emergency Act?
Well, Andrea, first of all, and it's maybe easier for me to say since I live so close, I don't think we should have gone out of session on Friday. I mean, this is a national emergency. The Congress needs to be here working. We needed to have already passed that emergency relief. In terms of the FISA legislation, something that's, I think, that does need to be renewed, I think there are real concerns that there may not be enough senators coming back. Many of the senators fall, obviously, into the targeted age group of having to be, could be problematic. So whether we take up FISA or not, I think it's really important that we move on this emergency action the House took, and that will do things like school lunches that we just talked about earlier in your earlier segment. It will do things in terms of supporting additional funds from Medicaid. It will take the first step on unemployment, expanded unemployment benefits. But I don't even think the House bill is enough. I think we need to move on the unemployment issue, for example, to what's called disaster-related unemployment relief, where you don't have to wait 7 days, where the company does not have to sever its relationship with the employee. It could be a more furrowed relationship. I do think we're going to need to see some targeted assistance to certain industries. But I can assure you, and I say this as somebody who's a pro-business Democrat, that assistance to these targeted industries, whether they be airlines, hotels, or others, we need to see the vast majority of those funds, 80, 90% of those funds, as passed through to workers. Nobody should lose their job, their pay, or not have the flexibility to take care of their kid if they are having to quarantine or if their industry has had these dramatic shutdowns.
Senator Romney is calling for urgent action for the $1,000 per person. Is that the kind of relief you think should be done?
Listen, I'm not taking anything off the table. My fear is that that kind of macroeconomic effort, you only get one shot on that. And that was one of the reasons why I thought the president's payroll tax cut was so, frankly, just ill thought through. That doesn't do anything if you're an Uber driver or if you're an independent contractor or you've already been laid off or if you're a low income individual. That payroll tax cut might be an extra $10 a month. That's not going to take care of things. When you're starting to talk about this level of massive dollar amount per family, we may need to come to that. My fear is if we act before we've kind of gotten other things in place, we may have shot all our bullets. And what we've seen already, the Fed took pretty dramatic action yesterday. It did not, obviously not calm the markets. The markets are still down about 8%. So what I would hope we would do is let's take this targeted action towards those individuals quarantined, those industries that are particularly hard hit. Let's recognize that the banks and, candidly, I was furious to hear that the banks, as recently as last week, were still using their balance sheets to buy back stock rather than to hold on to that cash so that we could deploy it out to small businesses and others. The truth is, interest rates at all-time record lows. I think we need to have the financial institutions put out a lot of these loans at virtually low interest or no interest so that we can get this capital into the marketplace where it's needed right now.
Senator Mark Warner, thank you very much. Thanks for being with us. To be continued.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.